Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the beloved Kyber Empire. You're watching Arnold Holonet News, AHN, the only news you'll ever need because you have no other choice. And today we finally got a lot of stuff dropped on us. We have the final Sith news ship coming to Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, the famous Sith Empire attacker, Sith Empire Trooper. No, that's not a misprint. It's gonna be an attacking ship that has an insta-kill out of basic, B-A-S-I-C. I kid you not, holy cow, it's the B1 battle droid of ships. And on top of that, we also have the complete requirements for the Leviathan laid out for us. Long story short, yeah, I hope you got some deep pockets because we have the most Relic 9 requirements of all time in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Yeah, that's pretty nutty, but not as nutty as this. Don't you wish you could just make your own characters to collect? Well, let me introduce you to the very game to let you do that. Bloodline Heroes of Lithus. This game takes the RPG and hero collector model to the next level, baby. You can create over 1,000 hybrids. Take the bloodlines of your two favorite characters, put the best of them together, which leads to nearly an endless possibility of new strategies and new bloodlines to create. And you can do all this while enjoying the stunning visuals of the game. There's rewarding late game PvP, where you can get more hybrids by joining the seasonal guild wars. And if that's not enough, what if you could build your own kingdom and control the economy as well? And this is literally the best time to join. There's a Bloodline anniversary event going from June 1st through June 28th, where they're giving away tons of rewards all month long during its 1-year anniversary. And you can claim 10 free summons and 3,000 diamonds. And also new bloodlines have been introduced, such as the Titan Warrior, as well as the Nine-Tailed Vulpins. So if this sounds like fun, check out that QR code or my link down below to download the game for free on Android and iOS, and to get an amazing starter pack worth over $20. And these rewards will be available for the next 30 days. I kid you not, a basic ability insta-kill. Apparently there's been a running joke going on over at Capital Games, where ever since Boba Fett's Sign of Django, the design team has had a running joke of adding an annihilate on a basic ability, and they finally did it. We need to find a new running joke apparently now. So I want to talk, before we get to the kit reveal, about this new Sith Mark VI Interceptor with the Sith Empire Trooper, which people are asking, what do I think it's going to be? I was like, I'm pretty sure it has to be Sith Empire Trooper. The Sith Trooper for the first one was definitely out of left field, kind of left some people bummed. We wanted a more thematic Sith Empire fleet. Sith Trooper is not there as much as I love Larry. But let's get into the requirements for Leviathan. This is confirmed. We made speculative requirements way back when we first had word of the Sith Leviathan. And for the most part, we kind of hit the mark with a couple of interesting character selections for the relics. So let's check this out. We'll come to the new Sith ship in a moment here, but the full requirements are going to be Relic 9 Darthan, which was very obvious. Generally, the pilot of the fleet, the new capital ship, generally has been requiring the highest relic. At the time, Relic 8 for Piet. At the time, Relic 9 for Radis. But now it's going to be 2 Relic 9s. Darth Malak is going to be the second Relic 9 required for this. Now, it's not hopefully as bad because a lot of people already have Relic 9 Darth Malaks, but for those that don't have a Relic 9 Darth Malak, that's a second one that you're gonna need to put together. So hopefully you've been hoarding your droid brains hard. This is really the time to spend the Relic 9s. Otherwise, you shouldn't be really spending Relic 9s unless it's for a meme or it's something that's important for a requirement or something that's very good, like maybe Darth Malak, Jedi Master Luke, and a couple of the other ones that we broke down. So like myself, I have the droid brains ready. I don't really Relic 9 many characters out there. It's more luxury based and specifically for requirement stuff like this. Moving on, Relic 7 Sith Empire Trooper. Yeah, again, a lot of people have a high Relic Sith Empire Trooper. Very nice support for Darth Revan at the time. Not as helpful nowadays with Darth Malgus. You don't generally put Sith Empire Trooper in there, but it's helpful for Darth Traya. Relic 7 Sith Trooper, again, kind of an oddball. We weren't expecting that, but luckily a lot of people have Relic 5 Sith Troopers for Kylo Ren, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, but you're gonna need to bump it up. 2 more Relic levels. Darth Maul, Relic 7. Gonna be much higher than the Relic 3 minimum that you have to for Sith Eternal, so 4 more Relic boosts from there. A Relic 7 HK-47. Not incredibly crazy about it. HK-47 in my neck of the woods is kind of unemployed, not even a free agent. There's not really much going on for HK-47. At best, to be thrown at Dr. Aphra or something like that. Now they clarified, it says Relic 7 Bas Lashan. If you scroll down, someone's asking, what the heck is that about? And Meathead confirmed, this is not the Fallen version. So Jedi Basilisk Shot, and it kind of makes sense. There's not been a real reason to upgrade Basilisk Shot to that high of a relic level, because he's mostly just providing buffs and support. Well, they got you. It's unfortunate it wasn't Basilisk Shot, because that would help. No, Basilisk Shot Fallen, because that would have been helpful for the Sith Empire team, the character side of things. But I'm going to put a positive spin. The good news is Old Republic is one of the best teams for the Crate Dragon raid. Not like you had much of a choice anyways. So having relics on Basilisk Shot will let you do some higher tiers. Relic 5, Sith Assassin. That's a character you really never needed in the game. Well, now it's becoming needed. And here you go. We've been kind of waiting. What's Shorty going to be required for? She came out and never really was needed for anything. And here it is. Finally being needed for something, the Leviathan. And I've been kind of, it's weird to say, I've been kind of wanting her to be required for something, because there's not really much reason to go for her unless you just like what she does with the droid. Well, now you get build her up, know that it's useful for some requirement, and it's a really good plug and play character and a great droid lead on top of that. Fantastic. And pretty much you were spot on with the ship requirements that we called out. 7-star Fury class Interceptor, the new Mark VI Interceptor, which we'll talk about in a moment here. The TIE Dagger, we knew whatever the Sith ship was going to be added, but we didn't know it was going to be a first order ship. B-28 Extinction class bomber, Scimitar Sith fighter, and we also said there's probably an oddball chance of Ebon Hawk, and boom, it's right there. So really at the end of the day, it's going to be those Relic 9s that are going to be kind of difficult to put together. And it also says unlocking event will require ships at 5 stars, but in order to earn shards to unlock Leviathan, you'll need the ships at 7 stars. So pretty much the same drill as we've seen with all these other mini ship Galactic Legend based events. So start hoarding, start going. I'm kind of wondering when this is gonna roll out. We have another like 2-3 weeks or whatever before we unlock Darth Malagus's Fury class Interceptor. We've been saying, all right, maybe they'll roll out this ship in August, September like they normally do. There's a good chance this could be maybe like a July, maybe August at the latest type of thing. Seeing the requirements this early, generally they give you about a month or two after this. So hopefully you have some resources hoarded up. You got some stuff pinned if you are going for it. But if you can't even get this 7-star Darth Malgus Interceptor, well, you're kind of going to be out of luck. So that's kind of important. The good news is you don't need Malgus at a high gear, but makes no sense because you're going to gear the guy up anyways. Have a good Fury class Interceptor. It's a catch-22 situation. You know how things go. Oh boy, imagine how many more they're going to require down the road. They're going to require a conquest character needed for a conquest ship, needed for a conquest capital ship, needed for a conquest galactic. I don't want to give them too many ideas. Let's go get into the kit reveal for this brand new Mark VI Interceptor, Attacker Sith Empire Trooper. And let's show you what we got here. So the basic ability is the nuttiest part about this whole entire kit. It's the B1 battle droid of ships where you're going to have these constant stacks on them. Very much similar like Droid Battalion. Depending on how many stacks you have, you're going to do extra stuff. So the basic ability with the Mark VI Interceptor on the deadly stack, it says Mark VI Interceptor gains additional effects based on how many stacks the Devouring Sword Mark VI has. So it does physical damage to a target enemy. If it was below 10 stacks and another non-capital Sith ship ally is active, you gain 10 stacks of Devouring Swarm. Those are the stacks. So Droid Battalion, Devouring Swarm, just so we keep things straight. If above 20 stacks, you gain critical damage up. Now remember, this is an attacker, not a tank. It's weird. They made Darth Malgus a support. They made Sith Empire Trooper an attacker. Definitely crossing some wires there. If above 30 stacks, shock to target enemy for 2 turns. So stopping turn meter, stopping buffs. And the main kicker of it all, if above 40 stacks in the capital ship of Sith Empire and it's Mark VI Interceptor's turn, lose 40 stacks and instantly defeat the target enemy. Just one more time, a basic on an insta kill. Now we gotta wait for this capital ship, the Leviathan, to see how often this is gonna happen. But if you just getting an insta kill on a basic ability it's kind of a first in the game. Having an insta kill in ships is kind of a first, excluding the capital ships. This is some high grade firepower going on here. And with Devouring Storm, it's kind of similar to Droid Battalion, where the more stacks you have, the more stat increase you have. You get +2 offense per stack. Moving on. Can't outrun this cooldown of 4. Deal special damage to target enemy and call another ally to assist. Mark VI Interceptor gains accuracy up for 2 turns and 10 speed, maximum of 100, and 10 stacks of Devouring Storm for the rest of the encounter. All enemies are inflicted with potency down making it harder to land all of their nasty debuffs. So we're going to get stacking speed on this ship. So again, we got to wait to see how this plugs in. But if this ship is getting a lot of turns, getting a lot of ways to ramp up its stacks, and then getting a lot more insta kills on the basic, this is just going to be an absolutely insane to the membrane type of ship. We have a second special on this ship, and it does kind of a couple things here. On the Devouring Sacrifice, cooldown of 3, deals special damage to all enemies. All allies gain tenacity up for 2 turns. And so it's going to be hard trying to apply breach and stuff like that. If Mark VI Interceptor has more than 4 stacks of Devouring Swarm, you're going to lose 3 stacks of Devouring Swarm. Mark VI gains Retribution for 1 turn, and I don't know how this would work, but let's just keep moving on. All allies gain critical chance up for 2 turns. Inflict enemies with critical damage down and speed down, which can't be evaded or resisted for 2 turns. So if you're getting Retribution, imagine having them counterattack and you just get insta kill. Wow. That sounds like a good moment to rage if I've ever seen one. So a lot of stuff going on in that one. And we have a unique ability, reinforcement, a lot of stuff going on in this unique ability. So again, just like B1 Battle Droids, where it's a very flimsy ship, but it's supposed to replicate like all these ships just swarming around. Kind of wondered why I think that would have been cool if the Vulture Droid would design like that. Anyways, Devastating Sensation. Sounds something interesting. At the start of the battle, Mark VI Interceptor's max health is set to 1, and it has no protection, which can't be prevented. Mark VI is immune to damage over time. Max health changes and max protection changes. Mark VI starts with 10 stacks of Devouring Swarm and can't be defeated or destroyed while it has Devouring Swarm. When Mark VI Interceptor takes damage, it loses 2 stacks of Devouring Swarm, which I believe B1 loses about, it's 8, right? 8 per attack. It's only 2. And dispels all debuffs on itself. If Mark VI Interceptor has no stacks of Devouring Swarm, Mark VI is immediately destroyed. So this is basically just laying out the conditions, very so how B1 works, like how do you actually kill this thing off. But this is where we actually get into some very interesting stuff. While we have Retribution on the Mark VI Interceptor, its attacks ignores enemy protection. And that ties in well. Remember with the TIE Dagger, it really likes ships that are under 100% health. This is going to help you get there, ignoring protection. When Retribution expires, you're going to gain 5 stacks of Devouring Swarm, doubled if it gets dispelled. So if someone buff dispels it, whoop, you're just going to get 10 stacks of Devouring Swarm. And then when an ally gains defense up, Mark VI Interceptor gains accuracy up and advance for 1 turn and 2 stacks of Devouring Swarm. So you're going to want to try to spam as much defense up as you can out there. And lastly, we have the whole reinforced ability, the Supreme Empire. Enter battle, gain 5 stacks of Devouring Swarm for every other ally reinforced ship. So it's seeming like, if I had to guess, the B-28 Extinction class bomber, Darth Malgus Interceptor, and then Sith Troopers TIE Dagger is going to be the starting trio. And I feel like this is going to be one of those ships that you maybe want to wait for it to come out, because you're going to get a lot more stacks of Devouring Storm coming in right away and be able to pop an insta kill. Because if the capital ship is Sith Empire, the Mark VI Interceptor gains 30 stacks of Devouring Swarm. Instead, for every other ally reinforced ship, Mark VI gains a stack of Ferocity for 2 turns. I want to read that one more time. You get 30 stacks Devouring with the capital ship if it's Sith Empire, instead for every other ally reinforced ship. And how many do you need for the insta kill? You need 40. That right there is the big chunk of it. There's maybe more ways of it to get more opportunities for Devouring Swarm, but if you call in this ship maybe 2nd reinforcement, 3rd reinforcement, if you do 3rd reinforcement, you're going to get 60 stacks of Devouring Swarm. That almost puts you at a situation where you can have like 2 insta kills or something nuts like that. It's because you only lose 40 stacks. So this is just a mind-blowing ship right here. This almost seems like this should have been the Conquest ship and not the Grand Inquisitor side. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and I think now we're on the clock for when the Leviathan is going to be coming out. This looks to be a ton of fun. I look forward to testing it out with you guys later on this week. We're going to see a small picture of it. I'm sure we can at least do something fun. I almost kind of made like a Thrawn Sith fleet kind of operates. We can at least have some fun trying that out. And of course, the big question, probably should have put this out a little bit earlier. How are we going to unlock this final ship? It's going to be in a galactic chase. You'll be able to farm this ship on all fleet nodes. So taking a peek, I'll show you both my accounts. On both of my accounts, I got it on 7 stars in the main account. Again, only took about like 7,000 crystals. give or take a little. I'd say probably closer to 8,000 because I went a little bit hard on the first day so we can test it out. It's not all that bad. It's a complete steal compared to how you normally unlock ships. On the free-to-play account, I didn't really push hard because Leviathan's nowhere on my radar, and it doesn't seem to be like an incredible core function of the finalizer. It's a nice second string reinforcement. If you didn't see it, card in the top right-hand corner. And, you know, we got a little short of 5 stars. But if you do push, and you should be able to get this decently. But again, we don't know. The math of the TIE Defender was slightly different than the math of the TIE Dagger. And the math could be slightly different, negative or positive, to this new Mark VI ship that we have, the Mark VI Interceptor. Lots of interceptors for this fleet, but stay tuned. We'll get you all the math. Hopefully it's gonna be fairly generous. The rule of thumb was before, if you at least do the 200 crystal refreshes, you're kind of on track to unlocking the ship at 7 stars, no problem, skipping out the hard nodes down the road. But stay tuned. We'll let you know of everything. How's the ship performing before Leviathan? How much you're gonna need, all that fun stuff. But you gotta come here because on Old Holonet News, it's truly the only news you'll ever need because you have no other choice. I'll see you later.
Oh, it's great to be